At Gulf Coast Weather Solutions, we focus on delivering reliable weather forecasts. Our new app provides reliable weather updates and alerts no matter where you are. With real-time weather alerts and warnings, you can stay informed and prepared wherever you go. Download the Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app today on the App Store and Google Play and stay connected no matter where you are.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Johnny Lively here. Not much going on this morning here. We can see that it is pretty quiet, sponsored by Dana Simmons Real Estate Team. We put the radar actually in motion here. Nothing going on so far, but we should see later on this afternoon, getting into the evening time hours, we have another front which will be pushing into our region, and we can actually see it's just moved towards East Texas now, getting into parts of Central Texas, and will be approaching really the northern parts of our region later on this afternoon into the evening time hours. And here's our current temperatures that we're seeing across the region. Further to the north is into the upper 60s along the Interstate 10 corridor. Really varies. You see Houston's at 73 degrees, Baytown and Anahuac already into the upper 70s already. Here locally in Beaumont, we're at 71, Lake Charles at 65. This really, the whole area, we can put this in the next slide, anywhere from 10 to some areas up to 23 degrees warmer than it was yesterday morning. We were talking temperatures in the upper 40s yesterday, and today we're talking into the 60s. So it is a big change, but don't worry, because we have another front, like we said, is going to be moving through later on this evening, and those slightly cooler temperatures come back on Wednesday, and they're going to be sticking around really throughout the weekend into the weekend. Actually have another front coming in this weekend, which is going to help bring in some rain chances. This is our construction and outdoor forecast sponsored by Modern Concrete Materials. The morning time is really not that big of an issue, green light, but once that frontal boundary starts moving into our region, we do have a risk of 20% coverage by the afternoon, and as we get to the 3, 4, 5 p.m. hours, that's when we can start seeing that 30 to 40% coverage for a couple isolated showers, and maybe a couple storms as well too. Really looks like this will start getting a little bit better active along the Interstate 10 corridor, and then as long as it gets closer to the coast, should get a little bit more active. So the northern region's not as active as Interstate 10, and down towards the coast is what we're expecting. That's because that front's going to be moving in later on this evening. Like we said, that's going to give us a round of showers and thunderstorms. Then this passes through. This gives us some cooler weather on Wednesday, Thursday, and then again, we have another front which will be coming in this weekend, and we can see that here in the rainfall outlooks. We've got 30 to 40% coverage today, drops off on Wednesday, low coverage on Thursday, some on Friday at 30% coverage, and then we have another front that's going to be moving in on Saturday, giving us 60% coverage of some showers and thunderstorms, and then some lingering showers and storms as we get into early Sunday and then Monday as well too. So here's our future cast right now. We'll watch that boundary come down thanks to our sponsor, Do Good Credit Union. We'll continue to watch that boundary come down. You can see along Interstate 10 and really right along the coast, a lot more active possibly towards southwest Louisiana, but you can see this will get active across the I-10 corridor and then down towards the coast later on this afternoon, getting into the evening time hours. And then as we get into the overnight, that boundary will continue to keep sagging down southward, getting into the Gulf. Clouds won't be an issue on Wednesday, but once we start getting into Thursday evening, we start seeing those clouds coming back in. That's just showing us that moisture is slowly coming back into the region, so we get the clouds. And then this will allow for the next round of some showers and thunderstorms moving in on Friday afternoon, and then another front will be coming in on Saturday, which will give us even better coverage on Saturday. If you look over there towards Round Rock, out there towards West and Austin, this will continue moving eastward, getting into southeast Texas on Saturday afternoon and getting into southwest Louisiana and Saturday afternoon. So at least 60% coverage is what we're expecting as we get into Saturdays, thanks to our next front we'll be seeing. High temperatures today, mainly into the upper 80s. Some areas like Houston, and you can see Alvin and Conroe will get into the low 90s thanks to our sponsor of Switch Electric. Down towards the coast will be into the low 80s. Overnight lows, a lot better than they were this morning, and overnight will be into the low 50s further to the north. Along Interstate 10 will be into the 60s. Houston at 69, Beaumont at 63, Lake Charles at 62, and down towards the coast will be into the upper 60s. Galveston a little bit warmer at 70 degrees. We have an area that we're not going to be really watching, but if you are going into the Caribbean, definitely want to keep an eye on this. This will not be an issue for the Gulf at all. This will be an issue for really the Caribbean more than anything. And we can actually see this going in motion. So these islands that we have here, Haiti and all of this is where we have the potential for flash flooding. So this will be Melissa, possibly a hurricane as we get into Friday and into this weekend. But really notice how long this lingers. I mean, this can bring flash flooding, mudslides into this area. A very dangerous setup will be setting up really this weekend and even into next week as well too, because this is a slow-moving tropical system. This is the first tropical storm and possibly the first hurricane that we've seen this season in the Caribbean. We keep talking about cold fronts after cold fronts. We got one today, got another one this weekend. All of these fronts are keeping this from getting into the Gulf, so that's why we're not worried about this at all here locally. But if you are traveling into the Caribbean, definitely want to keep an eye on this. Again, Haiti really looks to have the bullseye on some flash flooding and heavy rainfall this weekend and even into next week. And then eventually, this will continue going eastward or northeast, eventually going out to sea. But first, it's got to get through all those islands down there. Here's our forecast for the next 7 days. We've got the rain chances today, dies down on Wednesday, a little bit on Thursday, but we start picking up as we get into Friday, especially on Saturday, ahead of our next front. But notice, today's going to be our warmest day that we're really going to be dealing with. And then on Wednesday, high of 82. And look at those lows, not too bad. Warm up a little bit on Friday ahead of our next front. But then we have another front that's going to be coming in. Here we are in southwest Louisiana as well, too. 40% coverage today, not too much on Wednesday and Thursday. Looks pretty dry thanks to that boundary that's going to move offshore, bringing in that drier air. And then we start seeing that moisture return as we get into Friday evening, and especially on Saturday as that next cold front comes in. And you can still have some lingering showers and storms on early Sunday as well, too. So this is our Tuesday morning show sponsored by HB Neal Construction. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful Tuesday. We'll have another video later on this evening with Lucas Boswick. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to download our app to get all the latest information and updates from Gulf Coast Weather Solutions. So thanks again and have a wonderful Tuesday. Good seeing you again.